Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So today I'm going to talk about the iPhone 12 and the 12 Pro series along with the HomePod Mini, which Apple just dropped yesterday. So let's get into it. To start with, I'm going to compare the iPhone 11 and the 12 design, the display, the cameras and the processor. So first, let's talk about the design. So the overall design hasn't changed much. It is the same notch design which you have on the iPhone 11, but this time Apple has gone with a boxier design like the iPhone 5, which I personally like. So at the back you still have the dual camera setup, a glass and metal sandwich, as I said, the notch on the front, and you also have the mute switch, which I am a really big fan of. On the bottom, it's probably going to be the same with the lightning connector. On the side you still have the power switch to go with it. Talking about the charging, they've introduced MagSafe. Let's talk about that later in the video. Before we move on, do subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon. We are really close to 1,000, so I'd really appreciate if you subscribe. Now let's talk about the screen. So the iPhone 12 has got a major jump in the screen. It is similar to that of the Pro series. So it's a 2340 x 1080 and a 476 ppi density OLED Super Retina XDR screen, but we won't be seeing high refresh rate this year, so it is still at 60 Hz. It supports HDR and Dolby Vision. There is also a mini model to the iPhone 12. The normal iPhone 12 is going to be a 6.1 inch screen, which is similar to the iPhone 11. And the mini model is going to be a 5.4 inch screen. So basically it's going to sit into the same screen size as the iPhone 6s or the iPhone 8, which is a good thing, which we expected Apple to do in the iPhone SE 2020, but nevertheless. Next, let's talk about the A14. So both the 12 and the 12 Pro series will be powered by the A14. It is going to give a 15% improvement in performance from the A13 and 30% improvement in power efficiency. It's going to be a 5 nanometer processor, so I assume that it will be definitely faster, but if you're on the 11 series, I do not think you should consider upgrading right now. Anyway, next let's talk about the cameras. So the iPhone 12, both the mini and the 6.1 version have a dual camera setup, same as last year, but it has got an upgrade. So the ultra wide is a 12 megapixel sensor with a 2.4 aperture and 120 degree field of view with a 5 element lens and a 13 mm focal length. The next is the wide angle, which is basically the main camera, which is a 1.6 aperture, and it is a 7 element lens with optical image stabilization. So this is where the iPhone 12 changes from the iPhone 11, but otherwise I expect the software to do the major work. So majorly, if you're on the 11, do you want to upgrade for the 7 element lens? Overall, it is a 5G phone, so it has 5G as well, and the entire lineup has 5G in fact. It has a Super Retina XDR display, which is a major upgrade, as I said earlier. It has a ceramic shield glass, which is supposed to be really strong and resists up to 4x drops. The A14 Bionic, a new dual camera system, and the MagSafe. The prices are a little steep. So the iPhone 12 mini comes in at 69,900 and the iPhone 12 comes in at 79,900. But for that screen, you should definitely consider upgrading from an iPhone 11 or 12 when you are going to buy it. If you are currently on the 11, I do not think it is a good idea to upgrade. Now let's talk about the MagSafe. It's basically going to allow you to slap on anything which is magnetic to your phone. Apple is going to make the charger or the wireless charger to be a slap-on, which is a brilliant idea, and I really am looking forward to using this. Next, let's talk about the bad parts. Apple is not going to include earphones or the charging brick. inside the box, and because of that they have decreased the size of the box as well. So they are saying that it is good for the environment, and I agree, but I would be more happy if they would have given us some way to go and purchase these adapters from maybe the store, or maybe they can give us store credit. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's Apple. So now let's talk about the Pro models, and I am not going to compare them because they are pretty similar to the current iPhone 11 Pro models. What has changed is the colors. So there is a navy blue addition to the three colors which were available earlier. The bezels have reduced ever so slightly. I do not see a major change in them, but when it comes physically in front of me, I'll be able to give you a better review of it. Otherwise, the cameras remain practically similar. They have changed the cameras a little bit, so let's talk about those. Apart from that, there is a LiDAR sensor as well. So talking about the cameras, the 12 and the 12 Pro Max do not share the same cameras. So the ultra wide is similar. They have got the same exact lens. It is a 120-degree field of view, 2.4 aperture, 5-element lens. Next is the wide or the main lens. Now this is something which is different. Both have the same 1.6 aperture, 26 mm focal length, and a 7-element lens with optical image stabilization. But the Pro Max has got a sensor shift optical image stabilization, which basically means that the sensor itself shifts. So I assume that that will give us better stable photographs and video. Now one more thing which has changed is the 1.4 micron pixel and the 1.7 micron pixel. Next, let's look at the telephoto lens. Now in the telephoto lens, the 12 Pro has a 52 mm focal length, while the 12 Pro Max has a 65 mm focal length. 2.0 aperture, 2.2 aperture, both have a 6-element lens and a optical image stabilization. Now here there is one more thing to add. The 12 Pro can zoom to 4x, while the 12 Pro Max can zoom to 5x. We will have to see how much difference do these characteristics make in real world applications, but Apple has created a definition between the 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max, which I'm not too happy with, but yes, it's there. The 12 Pro also will include a LiDAR sensor, which we have seen on the iPad, and it basically maps the surrounding which it is looking at. Apple is also claiming to have better night mode and better focusing in night mode because of the LiDAR sensor, which again we have to check. So overall, because of shrinking the bezels, the iPhone 12 Pro has gone to 6.1 inch and the iPhone 12 Pro Max has gone to 6.7 inch. Apple also spoke about the Apple RAW, which basically gets you raw images to edit, but it releases soon, so let's see when it comes out. So Apple didn't talk about any faster Face ID or anything, but yes, all the phones can record 4K HDR Dolby Vision, which is again a big thing and would really help with videos. Apple has always been great with videos, but this would give it a better leap. And last, we have the HomePod. The HomePod Mini, a great speaker, so it does everything which the HomePod does with some more features like an intercom if you have many HomePods. It really looks good, but it is going to cost 10,000 Indian rupees, and I do not think it is a good idea to spend so much money on a HomePod and Siri when you have Alexa and Google at almost 3,000 to 4,000 rupees. So I leave it up to you. Do let me know in the comment section below which iPhone you are going to get, and if you have any queries regarding the iPhone 11 or the 12, I'm happy to answer them. As always, thanks for watching.